as an event planner, I did event planning for 2 years after that. And one of my brides asked me about marquee ladders, which at the moment they were just entering the market as a trend. So there were no vendors who provided them at the moment. That we're talking about 2017. And we decided to make it. So we made our first set of marquee ladders in our basement. It took us 3 to 4 months to make it. A lot of figuring out in a process. Like I want to say, like each step was like a lot of figuring out and like learning the best ways to work. So we did our first marquee ladders, and at that event, at that wedding where we rented our marquee ladders at, like we started getting bookings, and then like people started ordering more ladders. And I realized that I like the decor aspect of the event business a lot more than the actual events. I wanted to be a decorator. So we transitioned from being an event planning company into a decor company, because like, niching down instead of being like, I do it all kind of thing. It's, we had a really great area of expertise in decor and eventually event design. And so basically in 2018, we became a full service decor company. We were offering, like at the moment, marquee ladders and like other rentals like sequin walls and boards, and we had stages, and then we added the balloons as well. So balloons were not where I started from, but balloons was something that definitely elevated like our services and helped us to offer a complete design for a lot of things, even weddings, corporate events, and social events. And basically that's what we do today. Today, I own a Slate Displays decor company. So we are extremely recognizable in our area. We worked as far as Hudson, New York. So people hire us all over, pretty much almost East Coast. Again, extremely recognizable everywhere, Philadelphia area. This is where we're located. So, but we serve Delaware, Philadelphia, Jersey, and Maryland, and New York. Not as much New York anymore, just because we're so busy around here. So in 2022, we started teaching, and basically this is where we stand today. So we provide services around Philadelphia area, and we have a Decor Lab where we teach people to do what we do and how to get to where we are today. So speaking of which, at the end of this webinar, I would love to share with you what the Decor Lab is and what the benefits it can give you. So I don't know, stick around for that, because at the end of it, you also will hear about the bonus. Okay, so again, this is a little story about me. And before we move to this, like 3 main points I want to share with you, I want to make sure if you have any questions, make sure you use the chat box and ask me any questions or leave your comments in that box. And I don't know, let's go over those 3 things that will help you grow your business. You ready? Do I have any questions so far?
Not yet.
Not yet. Great. So I don't know. Get your pens ready and piece of paper. So the first thing I want to share with you is the first thing I want to talk to you about, like what's important in getting your business to like a nice full swing, and getting like good steady orders and bookings is to nail down your numbers. One of those things, I feel like there's a sub bullet points where it's like, first thing you need to narrow down in terms of numbers is your pricing. Pricing politics are really important, and that would be different depending on where you are located, right? Why the pricing is important. Doing a proper pricing, not giving like crazy discounts in order to do like a market penetration or to compete with other people on the market. You want to make sure you make profit, because if you're not making profit, there's no point to have a business. Also, understanding your pricing politics and understanding why you're charging what you're charging is will help you to explain it to your customer, because sometimes customer can tell you, like they will ask you, they will try to like bargain and get a discount. There are that type of customers on the market, but for them to understand the value of work and the value of the services they will get is kind of your job to explain to them why the numbers what they are, But in order for you to explain it properly to your clients, you need to understand it yourself. So if Felicia next door charging $500 for one thing, it doesn't mean that you have to charge the same amount of money. Okay, you can be more or less, it doesn't matter, but you just need to differentiate differently on the market. So matching the prices of whoever does the same price on the market is not the goal for you. The goal for you is to show why you are better, okay? And we'll talk about it in just a little bit. Also remember, it's why one more thing about the pricing politics, why it's remember that the understanding your pricing will help you to adjust the pricing when the prices and materials grow in the market. Guys, what happens today in the world, like gas prices are up like every day. The materials go up every day. The labor is super expensive. Renting truck is like getting super expensive. So if you understand your pricing that you set up, will help you to adjust the pricing according to the market needs. So you're still profitable. So you still grow along with the market. So you're not working for a loss. So that's really important. The second thing I want to talk about in that little section is to niche down your inventory. Basically, it's very important not to offer everything and anything that is available on the market, like of the decorators, right? So you can just have starting off, or like, to grow into something, you can have like few things, few backdrops, few bases in your inventory, but the goal is to understand and have idea and creativity to utilize it and use it in like 10 different ways. So you can order 10 different setups with your current inventory instead of spending money for each backdrop every time. So if somebody wants Kiara boards, but they an arm and a leg on the market, I believe like in California, they're like $900 per board. I was like, this is ridiculous, but it's a lot of money to buy a board. How much can you sell it for in order to make your money back? Like how many events you can rent it for. So if understanding what you can substitute that with that you have already in your inventory is important. Like, let's say maybe you don't have to go with a Kiara board. Maybe you can offer Sigmund board, or you can do a balloon wall in these colors and just like instead of putting like the vinyl on the board, put the vinyl on balloons. Still provide the same services, give the same visual, but with your current inventory. It's amazing how much you can do with just substituting one thing to another. And most of the time, client won't even know, and they won't even notice that there's like one element missing because you don't have it in the inventory. So because you're selling the project, you're selling the vision. So that's why niching down your inventory instead of like having like one of each and barely selling it in a year. Having less things, but selling it in multiple different ways will be a lot more beneficial for you, your profitability and your business. And having that particular inventory and like having like so many different ways to sell that inventory will help you to plan and forecast like your goals and how much money you can make in a year or in a month, whatever, like, or in a quarter, whatever length you want to go with. In order to do your like P&L report, P&L profit and loss report, the report that shows you whether or not you've been profitable this particular period of time, and it will show you how much you made. Because if you know how much your business is making, you know how much you can spend in order to invest back into the business so you to grow even further. Okay, any questions so far?
Nope, everybody is intently listening.
Great. I hope it's a lot of information in a short period of time. So if you guys do have any questions, please ask me. I'm here for you. I'll be happy to answer. Okay. All right. So the second thing I wanted to talk to you about really quick is, and it's really important, is the mastering your marketing. Marketing is important. I feel like without a marketing, there is no business. I mean, there are so many different marketing strategies that you can choose to go with. You don't have to do all of it, but you have to have a strategy. You have to, like, it's not like, I'll post on Instagram just to post it, to post with a strategy. Make sure that you are consistent, that it's not like a one-time thing. It's not a one-time gig. Like you have to show up every day for your clients, for your for your followers, for your potential clients and prospects, because believe me, they see you. They see, you don't know if you have 300 followers or if you have 3,000 followers, if you have 33,000 followers. They see you, they follow you for a reason. They might be inspired by you. They might not order things from you today, but because you are always showing up on a daily basis, you keep that inspiration and things going, like showing the expertise in different areas. They will hire you a year later, maybe a few months later, because you'll be like the first one that comes to mind in their area, in your area, when they think about decor. So whenever they have something to celebrate, they'll be like, I know the decorator, and that would be you. So make sure you show up, make sure you're consistent, because it's important. It's because you know how it is when there's an actor and an actor stops like going, like filming movies and everyone forgets about it. It works the same way. So people will not be remembering about you because like 2 years ago, you did a big gig for like a sports team in your area. You always have to be out there with them, showcase your work, show new things, new trends. Make sure you show the trends, because trends are trends, right? People love being trendy and having trendy things at their events. So that's important. So, and what worked for us as a business were collaborations. Collaborations helped me, my business tremendously, and also helped me to build a community within my area. Collaborations like collaborating for an event, collaborating for a photo shoot, collaborating for an open house. That helps building the relationship with other vendors. Also, you build that loyalty and trust with other vendors, and you cross-promoting and cross-preferencing each other. So sharing your followers with each other. You're sharing your like how much more you can do together. So let's say I'm doing balloons, you're doing florals. So let's do so like a bigger display together kind of thing. And then let's have an amazing photographer who will take a photo of it, and then we'll publish it, and people will love, like they'll love the whole idea, and most likely will hire all three of you for their next event. That kind of thing. So collaboration goes a long way. Plus, sometimes when they're hiring a florist, that florist already worked with you and they ask you for the balloon person, they'll be like, I know a girl or I know a boy who can definitely help you out because they are exquisite. Why? Because they already worked with you. They know that you're reliable and they know that you're doing a top-notch work. So building a relationship is big. So collaborations is, I think it's great. It's free. I mean, it's free. It's just the cost of your materials and your time. And it's great. It's a great return. So that was the second thing. Any questions so far? Great. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, which is also really important in order to grow your business, is develop your skills. So what do I mean by that? That means that I know people who have been in the business for 20 years, but they're still at the same spot they were 20 years ago. So they never grew an inch. So it's very important to invest in yourself to make sure that you stay on top of the trends. You're learning new techniques, you're learning new resources and materials available on the market, and how to utilize and sell them in order to stay profitable and show the expertise, like establish yourself as a person on the market in your area who has the expertise in the decor world to begin with. So instead of, you know, how like back in the days, it was only like balloons. Then it was like some milers. Now we're talking about orbs and bubbles, right? Like they were not on the market a couple of years ago. So now it's a big thing and everyone wants to use it and upsell their decor with it. So we might be talking about the balloons, but now we're talking about the, you know, like few $100s of the regular balloon display and a few $1,000s when we're talking about orbs. So the difference is out there. So really, if investing in yourself and learning new techniques will definitely take the guesswork out of it. So there are master classes, there are schools, there are communities. So make sure you're out there, make sure you share your work, share your concerns, share your knowledge, and you will also get a lot back from it. So invest in yourself. That's like one of the most important thing in any business. So same with the photography, like the cameras are changing like every 6 months. So like, you know, photographers always invest in themselves to take in new master classes on how to edit their work and how to use the new equipment. Same things apply for decorators or accountants, or if you were like running the venue or restaurants, there's always like trainings for like restaurants and chefs, whatever industry you are in today. And you always investing in yourself will be the benefit for you. Another thing is the community. Finding the community that will support you is important, because I know how important it is to not to be discouraged. And when you are a solopreneur, it can happen. I've been in situations where I was just like, I don't want to do anything. It's not working out. My customers are, I don't know, they're bad people. I'm not allowed to say bad words on webinar, right? But it is important to have a community that will support you and talk about a certain things like problems and how to troubleshoot them on the spot, or share your story or like the situation you've had, and then have people to talk it out. So that will help somebody to be prepared for the same situation. Like when like they face it, they'll be like, oh my gosh, like he or she talked about the situation in a community and we discussed that, and like I know how to act. I know like I already have options in my head on how to troubleshoot that right on the spot. So things like that are very important. Also, how community helps. Like if you are lacking creativity, it happens. We are, as creative people, it happens to the best of us. You're lacking creativity, it will help you to come up with a strategy, to come up with an idea, to come up with a design, because you are not alone. So having a community of the people from the same industry will help you to, you know, go through your tough days and to get that support and encouragement, motivation. And sometimes it's like, you know, here's my help, let's grow together. So I feel like that's why community is really important. So I feel like we're slowly moving into like the end of those like 3 main points. I want to move towards the Decor Lab. Speaking of the investing in yourself, and I want to share with you about Decor Lab School. Decor Lab School is the membership platform. It's a membership-based school. So it's not a master class. People ask us all the time, is that a master class? When is it? Like, is it live? Is it? So it's online platform where we have 2 different tiers. Tier number 1 called, it's a premium. And there you have access to the video bundles. Each video bundle has a lot more into it. And for example, we have a Gatsby bundle. In a Gatsby bundle, you learn how to make Chiara boards, how to work with sequin walls, and how to create basically everything in that big display, like each element and the big display. We have over 20 bundles available for premium. Then there is elite membership. So elite membership is more business oriented. So besides just all of the bundles available for you, you will have access to weekly webinars on a lot of multiple different business topics. This is where we talk very detailed about pricing formula. We talk very detailed about each element, how to create it and how to price it. So when you get to that point, you got it. You know how it is, because we talked about it like 5 million times, and you know how to price it depending on your area, on your expenses, because each one of you here is different, because, you know, prices in France and prices in California are different for the most part, right? So, so this is why it's, oh my gosh, where was I? Webinars. So webinars. We also talk about importance of insurance for your business and how to work with different insurance brokers and like the benefits out of it. We talk about bookkeeping, we talk about contracts. Yesterday, we talked about contracts and things you need to have on your contract and why. We talk about how to troubleshoot the problems when you have like logistics problems or anything at your event. So business-wise, you're prepared for anything. You have answers to how to run your business. We talk about a lot of things at our webinars. We also have Elite Yearly. This is where you commit to the Elite membership, but kind of prepay for the whole year in advance. And due to that, you get a discount and you get a couple of the beneficial downloadables with that. So I talked about this, shared with you what the Decor Lab School is. We are up to date, you guys. Like, as I said, I have that expertise, not because I went through every single step of creating the business and making it very successful. I also collaborate and network with the decorators all over the world. So I'm up to date with all of the trendiest things and the latest things on the market. So, and based on that, we're creating those bundles and tutorials for you, so you stay on top of the trends. So as soon as the balloon rainbow and the wooden arch was like the trend, we created tutorials to teach you how to make it. And like based on, you get the point, right? So as soon as it becomes a trend, like those stripe boards, how to make it, we teach you how to make that as well. Actually, the tutorial coming for that really soon. And that helps you to not just to understand the trend, to understand how to make it, and with the membership, how to sell it. So it's like one-stop shop for it all. So let me tell you about the bonus you can get. If you guys choose to sign up for our school, over this weekend, we're going to have this webinar recorded and available for you until the end of the weekend. We're going to email you the link as soon as it's converted and uploaded. So you'll have it for you. So if you would like to rewatch it and get like some of the key points of it, or just look at my pretty face. With that being said, if you sign up for Elite membership until the end of the weekend, you will get a free pricing, the rental formula. So basically, I feel like a lot of people struggling with how to price the rentals. So basically, when you're buying it for one price, how much can you charge per event in order to make a profit, and like how long? So with this formula, you basically just put your number in, how much you paid for that, how many events you like, what's the turnaround you want to have, and that will give you calculate the price for you, how much to charge for it for each basically rental. So you will get that for absolutely free if you will sign up for the Elite membership until the end of the weekend. Okay, do we have any questions so far? I'm finished my spiel, you guys. So let's see what you have.
We have time to do a little Q&A here.
All right, perfect.
Hi, Julia. If someone is just getting started with event decor, what would you suggest to invest in first in order to start building up inventory?
That's a great question. So when you're starting off a balloons, really starting off absolutely newbie, you have nothing. So first of all, you don't need a big budget in order to start off a balloon business. There are three main things I would suggest you to have. First is definitely like some basic balloons to create your work, because you do need to build a portfolio. Second is to have your Instagram up and running. Create the Instagram that is not your Instagram where you have your kids and babies and puppies, which is great and absolutely amazing to have, but your business Instagram where you will be sharing your work, and we'll be sharing your collaborations, we'll be sharing your specials and things like that, and use that as a marketing tool versus your professional, like your photo album. And the third one, make sure you have a mentor who will guide you through, because there are several things you might need legally or logistically, or just like paperwork wise, where you can get lost on how to sell it, how to collaborate, how to set your prices. That can be Decor Lab School, that can be any other community you choose to go with, but it's important to have a support so you avoid making the mistakes. Why I'm telling you this is because I've been there. When I was starting off, there was no such thing like a community for decorators. And I was struggling. Like I made a lot of mistakes, like coming to where I am today. So there was like a big trial and error like way for me in order to get to where I am today. I lost a lot of money for master classes. There were some good ones. There was a lot of bad ones. So it's hard to find a good one, but when you do find it, stick to it. When you find a mentor and you love their work, you love their approach, and you're inspired by them, stick with them, because it's like you surround yourself with the people that inspire you and make you better. That will help you grow. So that's important to have. So make sure you find that person. That's like the number one thing you need to do. So that's pretty much all you need to do to start with. You can start your balloon business with like $500 or less even. You don't need to have bases. You don't need to have anything super expensive. You do not need to have sequin walls in order to get started. You need to have balloons, or you need to have a vision. And then you can go to like a next door coffee shop and be like, guys, let's collaborate. And then like, this is how you start. All right, that was a good answer. Guys, if you don't know me, I like to give very open answers. So I'm ready for the next question.
Hi, from Sydney, Australia. Monica says hi.
Hi, Sydney, Australia. Monica from Sydney, Australia. Hi, Monica.
Hi, Julia. How can we practice with our balloon setups and potentially reuse balloons for portfolio shots, not for customers, but just to practice?
Portfolio shots. So that's a great question. And I want to say that that would probably be like I will continue talking about what I started talking, answering the previous question. So let's say you purchase some balloons, you have an idea, you're thinking about summer colors, summer photo shoot. Like, let's talk about flamingo, hot pink, green, some light pink colors, right? And you want to do a setup. So you go to the local business and be like, knock the door, ask for a manager, tell the manager that you would like to do a decor for them. So like, I want to do a garland at your entrance that will be sitting out there for you guys too. So it will be more attractive for people to come in, and I will showcase my work. I will take photos of it for Instagram so I can promote how I'm creating my garlands. And you're repurposing that for like taking photos, right? And practice. So it's like you're killing several birds with one stone, but then also that's a collaboration, because you'll be like, listen guys, well, how about I'll just leave a couple of my cards here. So if somebody loves that garland, it wants that type of garland for their event or for like their entrance when they come home for like a hospital after having a baby, like they can reach out to me and I'll be happy to help. And you leave a couple of cards. So 3 birds with one stone. You practiced your work, you took photos of it, and you have a promotional photos for it that you can post on Instagram or Facebook. And third, you'll let some marketing materials. Business cards are super cheap. So get your business cards with like your phone number. Say like, I'm creating amazing balloons for you. Your phone number or your email, preferable email, because you can get lost with the phone number sometimes. So email, so where people can reach out to you and hire you for whatever their needs are. So that's like, you did one thing, you only used one set of balloons, but you got 3 things out of it. It's a win-win. That was open question. Oh, very open question. I'll answer. I'm sorry, guys. But I hope it's useful. And I hope like you're good, like, just like get ready, like go, because it's like maybe the first store will not say yes, the second or third will. So people are willing to collaborate. They want it. For them, it's like a free decor.
Monica said, thank you, love it. Somebody else said, appreciate you, Julia. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Love being part of the Decor Lab community. Lots of useful information. From Jamie or Jaime, I'm not sure how to say their name, but that looks like one of our students said thank you.
Thank you. We have one of our students. So happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being here and your support. And we're happy to have you here with our tribe.
All right. And then from Nativa Events says, hi, I'm in California and here balloon decorations are on every corner. So what is your recommendation to stand out so that a customer chooses you?
Oh my gosh, I have a lot to share. Like, let me see if I can just narrow it down. I'll just give you a simple example. There are loads of photographers everywhere. Their photographer niche is extremely saturated, right? There's a lot of people. I feel like every other person in the industry is a photographer, but they're stand out because they niche down. There is a photographer who only doing the baby shoots. There are photographers who's only shooting brides. There are photographers who's only doing corporates. So make sure if you niche down, but then you establish yourself as an expert in that niche, people will come to you. You'll be the first one who comes into their head when they're thinking about, let's say you wanted to do just weddings. And like all the brides in your area will be like, oh my gosh, she's done weddings, she's done photo shoots for weddings, she's styled weddings, and like she goes to like open houses for and tasting for brides and bridal shows. She's like the only like balloon artist who does that, or like one of the very few. But then because you're already by niching down, you're cutting off a lot of the competition you have in the area. That's one. If you are very community based, because like we know big cities have a lot of little neighborhoods, go to your neighborhood, be that expert in your neighborhood, that one street with all the local shops, talk to them, build a relationship with them, build that network with them, and make sure you cross-reference and cross-sell each other and cross-promote each other. Be like, guys, I'll do all the holidays decor for you, but I want to make sure I'll be like your expert. You're selling only my decor, like you only have my cards for the decorators in your store. Or when somebody's having an event in your little coffee shop, like I will be the exclusive decorator who can decorate the space, kind of thing. This is how you niche down, you narrow down, you build a relationship, but you go from, instead of like trying to go like with all, I don't know which city you are in California, the whole LA is humongous, right? LA is huge, but instead of the LA, you could go to like little county or little township, or even like the part of the township. Think about a couple of blocks. You'll be like, okay, this is my area, this is my empire, and I'm going to own it. And this is how eventually you can grow out of it, but you start by niching down, and then you grow step by step.
No more questions yet, but we have a few more minutes, so we can do like a last call.
Okay, very good. You guys, it was great. I'm so happy to have like any questions that you have. Let me give you a couple of minutes to just, if you have anything like last minute in your head and you want to ask or you want to share, you know, feel free to do that here, or share with me what you're struggling with. Let's talk it out. We have a couple of minutes before we wrap. And I don't know.
Nativa Events, for the one from you were just finding from California, said, thank you, Julia.
You're so welcome. It's a tea. I'm like, it's a tea. I haven't seen so many things with people having it's not a tea kind of thing. Tea. It's a tea.
All right, we have a few more questions here.
All right, guys, let's do it.
Yasmina said, how do you handle customer negotiation about prices?
So customer negotiation about prices, how do I handle that? We do no discounts. And if the only time I would do or offer a discount when it's under my terms, that would be when I'm offering a package. So instead of offering just one balloon garland, so we're talking about balloons here, right? Instead of offering one balloon garland, and somebody would be like, oh, I don't want to pay $500 for a balloon garland. I want to pay $350 for a balloon garland. You'll be like, the only time I might agree to do that, although that would be a pretty big discount, but I'll be like, if you also order a rental for me, like a sequin wall and maybe a photo booth and maybe something else and something, like you have to order like 5 different elements in order to get a discount, but that has to be under your term. So like you don't let your customer to dictate the price. It should be like fully on you, because, and this is why the pricing formula is really important, like understanding where your prices are coming from. So you understand that like your prices, where they stand, there is a reason why your price is where they are. So when somebody wants a discount, the discount only can happen if people ordering multiple things, just like everywhere. It's always like that anywhere they shop. So they cannot tell you like, oh, you know what, Felicia next door will do it for 300. Fine, you can go with Felicia. Most likely Felicia will not make money, but I'm running a business here. I'm a business owner and it's all about profit. I need to make profit in order to be successful, in order to pay my rent, in order to pay my utilities, in order to pay my people that working with me, for me. So that's, yeah. So don't let people dictate your prices. Be like, okay, be like the first one to offer. Be like, okay, so this garland is $500, but if you do this, this, and this, and this all together, then this garland will drop down to like $350. You see, your terms, you're the boss.
Yeah, we had a few more comments about pricing. Stephanie also said, I'm struggling with prices. It's so hard. And Nicolina said, oh my God, prices is my nightmare. So most challenging thing right now. So
everyone who commented that pricing is really tough for you guys, honestly, I will be happy to have you with us in our Decor Lab School. I will tell you why proper pricing is important, because there's so much into it. So pricing is not just the price of your materials and the cost of materials and the cost of your labor. There's a lot more to it. In order to be profitable business, there is in order to make money for the business, you like don't forget about the electric you're using for it, your electric pump, or like things that you most of the time forget about to account when you're putting your prices together. We teach you how to price your work with so many different elements. And we go over and over that so many times. We talk about it in the Facebook group. We talk about it in our webinars. Whereas like by the time, like, because when you're in this atmosphere all the time, you'll be like, okay, I got it. I got it. It makes sense. Not like I cannot tell like, okay, Felicia, you need to charge $500 for it because I said so. It does not work the same way. because each one of you have different expenses. Each one of you have different cost of life, depending on where you live. So each one of you will have a different pricing for your work. And in order to make money, you need to understand the why behind your pricing. And this is exactly what we teach, and we guide you through every single step of it within our school. So it's like there's a lot into it, and going over and over that with different elements, different garlands and columns and walls, you will get a lot comfortable like talking about it, like nailing it down and be like, okay, I got this. I can wake you up in the middle of the night and you'll be like, I know what my pricing is, and I know why. And I know why I'm not going to do a discount, because you got this.
I think we have time for like just a couple more questions.
Okay, do we have questions?
We do have.
Okay, so a couple more questions before we cut it.
Monica said, silly one, but how do you protect your hands or soothe them when you're working?
So how do you protect your hands? Actually, I just use good quality of the balloons. Like Tuftex, love Tuftex. If you guys in the United States, they are produced in the United States. Love these guys. I work with them all the time. They are the softest on your hands. I personally do a lot of the ballooning, and like in our company, we do have people who do a lot of ballooning. We have lotions everywhere in the office and a workshop. But like I know there are gloves, but the gloves do have a grip, so you catch a balloon, so it's not really working. One thing that you can try to use, and I actually do have that here, I personally really rarely use it, but I have, and it did help, is the surgical tape. It's a surgical tape, you know, it's the tape, it's very soft, it's like $2 or $3 in a department store, and it's, can you bring it? I actually have it there, the surgical tape, so I can show. Sorry. It's like the color of your skin, so you don't really like, it's like a beige color. And they come in white too. Yes, perfect. So you don't really see it for the most part. So they come in different colors. It's like super soft. So it can be like the color you can do, if you don't care about the colors, it can be like whatever color. It comes in different colors. So for me, like it's the color of my skin, and like you just put like 2 layers of it. Can you see it? So 2 layers of it, cut it. And basically this is where you tie your balloons, right? And that protects this area, but you're not losing that sensitivity in the tips of your fingers. So you can still work with that if you have to work with the fishing line or 260s or anything like that, but it saves that area that gets the most pressure and work. So this is the surgical tape, and it definitely comes in different colors, because I definitely seen it in nude, I've seen it in brown, I've seen it in white. So, and it's about like a few dollars. So we have it. Do I use it all the time? No, but if I have like thousands and thousands of balloons that we need to inflate, it comes in handy. So I have it available for myself or my team to use.
Okay.
So no silly questions here. That's a good question, and a lot of people don't know that.
Amazing tip, thank you. All right, last question.
Last question.
From Nancy. She said, I'm struggling with Instagram views and engagement. Is it about using hashtags, about creativity, or what is your advice?
And this is why we created Decor Lab School. We also teach you marketing. What's the thing about Instagram, that the strategy for Instagram changes like so often that it's important to stay up to date. So hashtags can help you, but they're like no longer like the drive for the engagement or for the views. They can help you to get discovered, but just because they're extremely saturated, it's hard to get like discovered with like a very broad hashtag. So if you're doing like, you know, the balloon decor, like there will be like millions and millions of things, so you'll get lost in a transition. Like honestly, like it's pointless with those hashtags. What's important is to stay on top of the trends with Instagram and see what's being pushed by Instagram the most, which is right now it's pretty much Reels. I do have an expert. She does our marketing and Instagram webinars also on a rotation. So she talks about the most recent things and things you can do for your business, like business photography for Instagram, and how to post properly on Instagram, how to write your content. She is brilliant. Don't tell her I said that. But she teaches that. Why I'm saying that, because our Instagram, you see, is her work, and she's amazing. So make sure you're on top of the game with your reels, with whatever's pushed. Make sure your photos are good quality, and make sure when your caption is like that you have a caption, and that you are not just writing a statement, you are engaging into the conversation, because it's a social media, so you need to be social. So it's not like you go out there socializing with your friends and you'll be like, beautiful day. So like how people would react to that. But if you'll say like, oh my gosh, what a beautiful day. Would you guys want to go for a hike with me tomorrow? Kind of thing. Then like, okay, you're already engaged in a conversation. You ending it with a question. So people have more reasons to answer that, or they'll be like, oh my gosh, you guys, it's a beautiful weather. I don't know, let's buy hiking boots on Amazon. So you're calling for action, right? So like you're either asking a question at the end or you're calling for action. So it's important. So there, as I said, that was my Alexa. So it's important to have a strategy for your posts on Instagram. So it's not, don't post just to post, make sure you have a strategy. So if you want to announce a special, or if you want to announce a new product, or if you want to announce, or just be like, there are 3 tips how you can like be something helpful, like 3 tips to make your event even more bright and colorful, and be like, tip number 1, use bright balloons. Tip number 2 is, make sure you decorate the entrance of your house. And tip number 3 is hire me to do that, kind of thing. Like, I don't know, be silly, be fuzzy, be social. That's what important is to be on a social media. Okay, I think that was the last question. So let's wrap it together. If you guys do have any more questions, we do have Instagram. We a lot of times we have like a question box there. So make sure you ask your question there. So we'll be happy to answer that in our upcoming stories. If you are within our school, we have the Facebook community where we answer your questions. We have amazing students that answer each other's questions and support each other. So we're very lucky we were able to build that community, because this is where we support each other. We don't compete, we grow together. So I'll be happy to have you as my tribe. I'm happy you're here today. I hope you grow, you shine, and you slay. I hope I will see you in the next webinar or Instagram or anywhere. Just be successful.